moved house, and now I have a view of the Harbour Bridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was just
That's
enjoying that.
beautiful. You're in Sydney, right?
Correct.
Perth, right?
Sydney.
Oh, Sydney, Sydney. Okay, okay, okay.
Mm.
I just had
Have you been?
someone that came all the way from Sydney um,
Oh, really?
for my retreat this weekend, the last retreat. It
Cool.
was
How was that?
it was good. It was so good.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How about you?
Nice. Good. I've been good. I've been doing very normal things.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I feel um, like I said in our last chat, I've just been focusing on a lot of relative level stuff,
Yeah,
uh, and kind of forgetting about the whole non-duality thing because it was just becoming like the main thing that I thought about to the point where it's like, well, that's a bit
yeah. It
counterproductive, isn't it?
it co-ops the mind and thinking that it's non-dualistic when there's no such thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It creates a new
uh,
narrative. It creates a new kind of paradigm, you know what I'm saying? And it
mm,
creates, it's just another creation if you look at it. It's just
yeah,
another way of thinking.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
lots of ways of thinking.
Lots of different ways of thinking,
Mm,
um, conflicting ways of thinking, contradictory things, cognitive dissonance sometimes, because intellectually people know that there is no one, but it feels that there's someone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
It's almost
I
like
guess
sobering up from that too, because it could becomes another intoxicant. The idea of non-dualism, which can't really be put into an idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Mm,
yeah,
mm. It's weird though because I guess there's the walking away from non-duality is like a hobby slash obsession,
yeah,
and then at the same time, it doesn't necessarily um, remove the underlying like structure of beliefs,
yeah.
which so I don't know if it's like fully positive or I guess it's not neither, but
No, no, it's just becomes it's because there's many different variations of non-duality. It almost becomes a cult like, um,
yeah, that's true.
an internal cult, you know, cultish way of thinking, if you look at it.
Yeah.
Um, and it's almost like what remains is just residues of it. It's like
Mm,
the moment that it's just you enter to the circus of non-duality, and the moment that you start exiting, from that mentality, because it's just mentality if you look at it, then there's a
mm,
sobriety from it, and then life becomes, you don't even have to call it relative. Life just becomes as it is.
right.
Yeah. So what are you doing now for work? Are you back to work with
So yeah, I've been working. I'm currently starting an education business.
Oh, that's good.
Um, yeah, yeah, and I've
You
started that
just
now.
moved. You still have boxes behind you.
I do still have boxes. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
moved.
How long
Yeah,
ago?
about a week ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and so it's been pretty busy. We moved
Yeah.
like as a family,
Yeah.
on short notice,
Yeah.
and yeah, and then at the same time I've started delivering some courses or a
Oh,
course
good.
at school, and hopefully I'll be doing that more and more as the year goes on.
What kind of
Um,
courses are you doing? I think you told me the last one, but I can't remember.
yeah, so the like it's basic like organize like in the beginning like self-organization, time management sort of stuff, like
Mhm.
sort of just like figuring out because I feel like a lot of people live in sort of a loop just on that, especially young people. Like I've experienced it on their
Yeah.
phones and not really knowing how to get out of the addictive cycle of the phone. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
about like
Yeah.
breaking those personal cycles.
Yeah.
Um, but normally to break that personal cycle, you need sort of something to pull you out of the loop in a way. So it's like developing a bit of focus, time management skills, just basic getting your life together stuff.
Yeah. That's good. Actually, that's really helpful, especially for a
Yeah.
young person.
Yeah,
Sometimes
they've been doing it.
life becomes revolved around the patterns and loops of social media sometimes, right? So everybody's
Yeah.
engaged with social media, and they disengage with
Mm,
the
mm.
immediacy of life, so to speak, right? So
Yeah. And then there's also just some basic mental health stuff like, like self-compassion, mindfulness, that kind of stuff as well,
that's good.
which
Yeah, that's
I
good.
think is just so important because like everyone could use a bit of that.
Totally, totally, right? Because everybody's getting caught up in their own narratives. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I've
It's
been
good that you're walking a little bit away from non-duality, because that will kind of screw up that relative,
I'm not gonna.
based.
No way. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
There's no like. Even if I was to talk about meditation or something, that would be
yeah,
a very like. I'm not. I, I think young people like the Buddhists were right in not um just like freely waving the non-duality flag because they understood that it would mess a lot of people up and make them nihilistic. So I
yeah,
kind of tend to agree that you
yeah,
have to be at a certain psychological level of stability. Like
yeah.
non-duality is all great when it doesn't, when it doesn't ruin your life, and it
I
doesn't
have
undermine the
seen so many
structures.
lives
Like
ruined by it, young people
yeah,
especially, right? So I
yeah,
have
yeah,
put
and
a
it's
person in a psychiatric ward because of it.
yeah,
And
it's so rough.
yeah,
I mean, like it's because like regardless of anything, like you know, the appearance is still cause and effect, and so if you take away someone's belief structure, like that all their positive habits that make the organism happy are predicated on,
hmm.
then everything falls apart, and then they become even more neurotic. So
Oh yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So you have to sort of, I feel like there's a top down, bottom up approach where it's like you master, like I'm not master, but just like you have to take care of the relative enough that you're not in just like complete distress all the
Of
time.
course, yeah, yeah,
I think
and
it's like at a bare minimum, since we haven't figured out how to just like pop everyone in one go,
yeah,
then might as well like lift the tide, lift the lowest level up, and then at the same time keep in mind like a very delicate balance, remembering that it is just a story at the same time.
yeah, yeah.
But that comes a bit later. I think that it should come later for people.
I have a brilliant coach that coaches really from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Really kind of like ethical way of coaching.
Mm.
Because a lot of coaching out there is just all about self improvement in terms of how can I get richer and how can I, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
tons of it, right?
I have a whole section on like discussing goals
Yeah,
because and like on just how the pitfalls of being outcome oriented because
yeah,
it's just like as a young person you think I've got to get to my goal then I'll be happy and it's like just like fully break that myth because at the same time understanding that goals are tools which can help you grow. They're like an outlet for concentrating your energy and building skills, and so they're not inherently useless. It's
yeah,
just that happiness is not about
yeah,
the future. Like I'm
yeah,
quite clear on that for them because I
yeah.
think also someone should tell them
Even
that.
non-duality for some odd reason becomes very goal oriented. When do I
Yeah, well,
drop
it
the me?
is.
Contracted
I still have the
energy.
goal. I still have the goal. Like
Yeah.
I still have that, and it's like I'm subtly aware of it, but it's like, yeah, yeah, I do have that.
Well,
Like,
it's very easy. It's very easy, right? If this is really simplistic. If you see that the past is just a thought and the future is just a thought, then obviously it's what's here. So what
yeah,
goals do you have when it's already here? But it's not something that the mind can comprehend. It's not something that the um, the goal can have. Or it's not a mind stuff. Basically, it's not a thought level. So it's
mm.
so for example, what's here that you can't think about?
I mean everything. I feel
Hmm. Yeah,
like in a way.
yeah. And again, that's simple again, right? If you take away the next and the historical idea of what this is or what you are or whatever, then what do you have left?
Mm. I don't have an answer.
Yeah. And you'll never have an answer. And I don't have an answer for you, right? So when
Mm.
the so-called mind or the thoughts, you know what I'm saying, just parts clears up and everything in the that's why I use the in between, right? What's in between thoughts and no thoughts, because there's really no response to that. so
Yeah.
that that rumination, that running, narrative of the mind gets hacked basically. So this is basically an enlightenment hack. If you take away the words, if you take away the language, what do you have left? It's in this instance.
Mm.
So the talk about no me, contracted energy is completely irrelevant. It's made up. It's an
Mm.
assumption that there's no me, which is of the mind, right? So what's between me and no me?
Mm. Don't feel like you could say anything.
Yeah. And in that entry point, when you can't say anything, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Is a clarity that does not require any language.
Mm.
So when there's a shift in perception and to see that that's all that there is really is that wordless clarity, then all the words don't really make sense anymore. Doesn't really matter. You can still
Mm.
do the relative stuff. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can plan your life around and everything, but you're divorced now to the idea of wholeness or oneness or consciousness or awareness or me or no me, because they're all
Yeah.
just conceptual underpinnings of something that you cannot really grasp.
Mm.
So again, if we
Mm.
take away language at this very instance, what do you have left?
Mm. Well, I guess nothing comes up.
Yeah, yeah. So if nothing comes up, isn't it non-duality unthinkable, unknowable, unfathomable?
I guess so. Feels a bit
The mind
well, it
will
doesn't
not
feel,
like that. The mind will
yeah,
try to look for the fireworks and the aha. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Um,
so, yeah.
yeah. But what do you without the next? Does a firework matter if there's no next, really?
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is like I feel like I've watched a few of your like
Yeah.
enough of your one-on-ones to see
Yeah.
what happens. It's like you sort of get someone,
Yeah.
then they're silent,
Hmm.
and then like the script starts running again. They start
Yeah. Yeah.
talking again.
But
And
that's okay because what's seen is the in between of that script running. It's kind of like when somebody is watching a movie and somebody cracks open that door and momentarily you're like, okay, this
mm,
is just all fabrication.
yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It's weird though because it does like at least from watching them,
Yeah.
it seems like there is a huge getting it moment.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
there is
But you've
there is.
intellectualized this so much, right? That I've talked to you a
Mm,
couple times now, right? You've
yes, yeah,
intellectualized this. So you're looking
yeah.
for an intellectualization realization, which has nothing to do with intellectualization. Now you're comparing something that you've seen, and intellectually you're trying to get that. Oh, just a second, you're frozen.
Oh, okay.
I think
Sorry.
it's my thing. Let me just close
I
my
have
camera
a
briefly.
okay. I have a bad
Oh, you have a bad
reception.
one too? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you know what?
Oh,
I'd rather
it's my
see
new
you
house.
than I'll
Okay,
I'll just take it off for about a minute and I'll come back. Yeah.
okay,
Just to
okay.
get the bandwidth, you know what I'm saying? Catching up
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. Yeah,
That's all
so
good.
what if you basically take away the historical, anything that you've seen that I've done, right? And
Mm.
just come into this moment without a second or without a next. It's almost like a
I think,
process of elimination, right? Because it's like a layer and layer and layer of thinking and understanding the mind will say that, well, I don't feel anything. You don't have to feel anything.
Mm. Or it will say, I feel certain things, and
Mhm.
so that means it can't be it because maybe there's like a feeling,
Exactly.
anticipation, but that
Yeah.
can't be it because then I would be future, right? But that's still okay,
It's so
maybe.
simple that a little child, like my nephew, gets it. Really,
Yeah.
really, it goes, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because
Mm.
sometimes I catch him, like, I getting caught up in your thoughts. It's like what if you take away the past and the future? And just like that, he goes, okay. And then he looks at me with these really, really clear eyes. And he goes,
Mm.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. Because
Mm.
the samsaras or all of that, thinking has not really, there's no grooves yet, right? There's no grooves, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a vinyl that has not been pressed yet.
Mm. It's true.
Yeah.
There's no conditioning.
There's no conditioning. Your vinyl has some scratches and it skips, you know what I'm saying? Skipping. And
Mm.
that idea that where is it? Where is it? Where is it? When is it going to
Yeah.
happen? But um so let's lift the needle. So what if there's only this second? There's no second, or there's no prior. Then if you take away the language, take away the I, and then ultimately take away the observer. Because anything out there that has been said is an observation. If somebody said that there's no me, that's someone's observation of what happened. They try to put words into it.
Mm.
No one can know this, but there's no me. That's just another idea of what this is, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's between knowing and not knowing? And then take away the language. And then repeat that over and over again until you come into that spaciousness that does not really have any
Mm.
kind of narrative. Again, what are you without that narrator?
Is, is there anything to do at that point?
Well, if there's that's the narrator saying, is there anything to do at this point? What are you without that?
Mm.
Then again, what are you without that narrator? What are you without that observer? Then take away the language.
Mm.
Then take away the witness. Then take away the past, take away the future. What are you looking at if you cannot use words? Eliminate the next, right? Because the mind is trying to avoid it. Because if it goes crash with it, with that directness, then it dissolves basically. You see it
Right.
dissolve and then you quickly try to get it again, right? Is that what's happening?
I think so. Essentially, it's like well, there's like nothing, but then is this nothing? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
or,
yeah.
or like,
So take away that take
is
away
that
the
silence?
observer.
Like,
That's what I mean, right? Take away the observer because now it's because
yeah,
now
I know. So
it
it's so
jumps
sticky.
quickly, right? It's like
It's really sticky. Like,
it's really sticky. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay.
It's not, and I don't even know if it's like, because then there's like maybe feelings that come up, but it's not even that I really think that they're bad. It's just that I'm, I guess there's just still looking to see if this is it. Like there's a checking, like you want to see if this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it.
yeah. But that's again, that's the witness.
That's the witness.
Yeah.
Because I don't really have a concept of like witness. It's not a, maybe like,
Observer,
I don't know, yeah, observer.
awareness,
Like,
right?
I don't even have, I think it's hard because I also don't have like a clear understanding of what I am.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's
So
just
why
like,
don't we just take
sometimes
away
the
the I?
thoughts.
Just the I. The
Mm,
one that thinks it, the thinker. Let's just take away the thinker. I just use different words, but it's a morphing, right? So if you're more into spirituality and you're like, oh, that's my awareness, or the me.
yeah, I just
Yeah,
had a sort of moment,
yeah,
a little,
yeah,
um, that was weird.
yeah, yeah. It's and again, you've been intellectualizing non-duality for quite a while. You know what I'm saying? And you're quite an intellectual guy, right?
Yeah.
So what are you without your intellect?
Yeah, there was
Yeah,
a weird, um,
yeah,
very weird moment of like, saw myself or saw depict myself in the camera and was like,
yep, yep. That's it. That's it. It's
like,
beginning to. It's beginning to. You know what? It's beginning to crack, right? So,
yeah,
um,
like wasn't me. It was
yeah,
just
yeah. It's
out
just an
there.
image.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was weird.
yeah. So what are you without that? Even that observer or that narrator that said that because then now the thoughts are saying that I saw that, right? So backtrack a little bit and take away, start unpeeling that. Go directly into this moment. Don't even go to that past, right? Because that past will just try to recreate that now, if you know what I'm saying, right? Because it's co-opting now, right? It's adapting to it. So take away that historical idea of what you saw and see this without words.
Mm.
How are you feeling?
I think thoughts start coming up again now.
Okay, that's
Um,
okay. That's okay. What are you without?
yeah,
What's in between thoughts and no thoughts? Don't intellectualize, just go directly to the question, right?
mm,
Because thoughts and no thoughts are opposites. What's in between those two opposites? See if the internet is better. Just a second.
mm. Still works for me.
Yeah. Oh, you're cutting out again. Okay. It's okay.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
okay. It's okay. The lag is not that bad.
Okay, yeah. Um,
We'll just keep on going directly and directly into it, right?
mm, that'd be
So,
good.
yeah. So, in the directness, in this very instance, in this very moment, what do you believe if you take away the history and the future thought? Just at this second, what do you believe if you cannot refer to the past or the future?
Like I know there's an intellectual, I know
Yeah,
the answer
yeah.
in a sense, but I don't know if the experience correlates with the answer. Like, is this
Okay.
what it's like to not believe anything? Like,
Yeah,
is
it still
that?
have a blankness basically, right? Because if you really look at a belief, You cannot have a belief if you cannot refer to the past, because all beliefs are based on the past.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But I don't even know like what I believe either. Like it's a bit vague. I think part of the problem is it's so vague and blurry that
yeah,
like
yeah. But
it's not
even
clear
say that
to
you
what
don't
to
believe, even say I don't know what the belief is, a belief.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I guess the thing is it's like mm,
yeah.
yeah. Right, right. So yeah, that keeps going on. Mm.
Again, you will try, you know what I'm saying, to create a narrative out of nothing. It will try to it's like it will block because you
When you
get
say like when you say like drop, like or go between or like look at it directly, like
yeah,
often my brain will just start thinking like what does that mean? Like how do you go between or
yeah,
look directly? Like what
yeah, yeah. But go
and how
directly
can you
without thinking, because it's so simple, right? That's how I get most people. Is because if you really
mm,
go honestly, brutally answer that question, you would not have any clue.
yes.
Yeah,
And well I think that creates a weird thing as well because it's like how can I not see it? Like how are you able ever to not see it? I don't get it.
because it has nothing to do with you seeing it.
Mm, right.
Yeah, because you seeing it, purports that there's a future for you to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're going to imagination, you don't even know it, right? So, not using your imagination, what do you know at this instance without any past or future? Do you know who you are if you take away the history of you? You know what you are if you take away the language at this very moment.
I guess
Who are you if you don't have any reference point?
it's just I mean, the thing is like it's just such a weird thing because how
Yeah.
can there be a change but no change? Like how can there be a blank if there was only blank? Like
Mm-hmm.
how can it
Because the
happen but not happen?
because the mind has an idea of what a blank is now.
Well, because like if there's thoughts, then like 'cause since there's only meant to be this, then if there's thoughts, then that should be blank too, right? Like that should be part of the blank. Like it shouldn't be like there
No,
can't be any thoughts because I
no,
keep feeling like can't
no,
have any
no,
thoughts. Then
no, no, no,
meant to have
no.
no
That's
thoughts. Like
just trying to go to the next, right? That's a thought about having no thoughts.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a thought about being blank. So the thought comes in right away. So what's happening is it's like you have a brilliant mind that co-ops the situation and then possesses a new question rather than answering directly.
yes.
You see what I'm trying to get at here, right? So, and it's okay. It's okay.
Mm,
It's okay.
and yeah,
Yeah.
it's just interesting because it's like how well I do often wonder about like how okay, this is extremely direct, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like and because it's extremely direct, it can't make any concessions that anything could help it because directness doesn't need any like past or future
No.
to help it. But like at the same time, surely someone who's like in the throes of like an anxiety attack is not going to
Mhm.
get it. Like they're just is way less likely
I
than
have
someone
I've
who's like
actually I've actually
wait,
talked to
still.
people that in the verge of a panic attack cleared up. I've actually
Dang.
talked to a person that is in a psychosis that cleared up, right?
Right.
Yeah, because they did not overthink the question.
Was the psychosis about non-duality though? Like I mean like a ordinary
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
ordinary. I feel like just an
There was
maybe
there
though you're right.
no no
Like you
no
could
no.
just break
See
through.
see you're
Yeah.
you're 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 intellectualizing now, but someone actually posted that someone was having a drug psychosis, right? Doesn't know anything about non-duality. He just simply asked a
Mm,
question was between, whatever and whatever. And then he got
mm.
somehow that person got out of that psychosis.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's magic.
Yeah.
Mm.
There was uh there was someone that basically someone had like a crystal meth addiction, what I'm saying, that walked away from crystal meth addiction. I think I told you, did I tell you about that?
Oh, that's
Um
pretty
I,
great.
so this person booked me and he seems to be super hyper. I have no idea. So after about 3 months, he said, "Did you know that, after our first talk that I haven't done crystal meth since then?" And I'm like, "What?" He had some symptoms in his body that were like he was tired and everything, but the next was not coming up anymore in his mind.
Mm.
So he stayed with the again, this is just more words. He was direct with the tiredness, direct with the withdrawals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was high. You know what I'm saying? Is what I'm saying when it
Yeah.
happened. Please
Yeah.
don't be high when that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
um. So
But
there
it just
was
shows okay, there's not like an excluding circumstance, I guess.
no, 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 because that's just mind stuff, right? The mind will keep up and making up something to create a narrative that how come I'm not getting this?
Mm.
But the mind has nothing to do with getting this. So the moment that you
I don't
engage
even
with
know
the
what the
mind,
mind what's the mind though? Like,
yeah,
is
yeah,
it
yeah.
thoughts?
It's just thoughts, yeah. So a
I
thought
feel like
maintaining,
my boundaries are like loose, so I don't
yeah,
even have a clear like I don't
good,
know what to do about anything.
good, 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 yeah. It's when you're not thinking, it's already. When you're thinking, you think that there's something missing because the default setting of thinking is that it's a lack.
But when you set up the idea that thinking makes it obscures it, even though it might be sort of true,
Yeah,
it then creates a division between it and not it, which then creates seeking. So like I think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I've
yeah,
been doing is like I punish
yeah,
myself when there's thoughts. And
yeah.
so then at some point I was like, I've got to stop engaging with all the non-duality stuff because
Oh,
it makes
totally,
me have
totally.
a
So that's
morality
what
of good and bad,
yeah,
like
yeah.
thinking
So
bad, not
forgive
thinking good.
forgive me for that because that does create,
No,
kind of
no,
like
not you. I mean,
yeah,
when one does that, like
yeah,
this, I do it to myself. Like,
yeah. Okay.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not about getting rid of thoughts.
yeah.
It has nothing to
Because I
that.
think like sometimes you'll ask a question, right?
Hmm.
And then like just to break it down, because I don't know if people actually tell you what they're experiencing when they
Yeah,
don't get it.
yeah.
But like, sometimes like you ask a question and then I'll there'll be like the quietest, littlest thought,
Yeah.
right? And the quietest, littlest thought will
Hmm.
come up, and then that sort of leads to the next one, and the next one, the next one, like creates a chain,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
then the thought's content is like, did I get it? Or like, is this it? Or what is between?
So
Or
the,
like, am I seeing it? And so but then it leads to, I'm now thinking about it.
mhm,
Thinking about it. This isn't it.
yeah,
Okay. And then I'm out. And
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
because of the idea that thinking is bad. But if thinking isn't
yeah.
bad, then the thoughts can just come and go,
Thinking is neither good or bad. You
or
you
it or
you
not
you
it.
you- you're
Like,
not you're not even thinking. You just think that you're thinking.
right.
Yeah. So all thoughts about thinking or thoughts is just pure irrelevant.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm just trying to pull the curtains of thinking to see what's behind it.
Because I always thought that, like, for me, since I think a lot, supposedly, since there's a lot of thoughts, I would be better off seeing it while thinking than not thinking. Like,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
seeing
yeah. Well, that's
the
the mind.
emptiness of thoughts.
Yeah,
Like,
that
if you
that's
see the emptiness of thoughts,
mhm.
then there's no way you can't get it.
Yeah, yeah. But that's just another conceptualization of something that cannot be conceptualized. So it's like you're running around with thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Um, creating a narrative about thoughts. So the thought will just keep on thinking, right?
Mm,
The illusion will keep on illusioning. The me will just keep on meing. That kind of, the self will just keep on selfing.
mm,
So you can't rely on your thoughts, on what this is, because you will just get more thoughts. Even questions are relevant because they're made up. that will basically elicit a made up answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. A thought will keep on making up more thoughts. So that's why I go really direct. It's to limit the thoughts and limit all of these words so that when there is a sparseness to it, you can go in between what
Mm.
cannot be said. Because really, it's just simple, right? At this very moment, what is it something that you can't think of?
What isn't something that I
What
can't think
is something that you
is
can't think
something.
of? Yeah. Can you think of silence? Can you think of stillness? So throw away those ideas of silence and stillness because that's what I'm trying to express,
Mm.
right? You can't really think of still silence. It just the mind just
No.
try to
Yeah.
narrate what silence is, right? So or try to
Yes. Yeah.
claim it, right? So what's something here that
Well,
you can't claim? Oh, you're frozen again. Damn it. Okay.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I've been listening. I can hear the whole time.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, I, I, for when you say it, there's not necessarily any response sometimes that
No,
comes up.
and that's okay. And that's okay. I'm not looking for a response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think with time, then thoughts come back up.
You're thinking about the next right away. You're not even giving it a chance, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like you're setting it for failure. And really, ultimately, it doesn't matter if the thoughts come again because you
Mm.
figured out that the thoughts are completely just, imaginary. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. The moment that you pay attention to thoughts, then you're making it real. You're trying to make the unreal real, basically, right? So what's between real and not real? What's between the absolute and the relative?
Oh, it's quiet. There's quietness.
Yeah. Okay. Take away the next, take away the past. It's just quietness. And it's that simple, it's that direct. It's not a firework, it's not an aha, right? It's like, it's what's always here. You can't think of this quietness, it's what's always here. You can't hold on to it because it's what's always here. It's often missed, it's often overlooked because it's so direct.
Well, I think you wouldn't want it to be quiet.
What's that, sir?
You wouldn't want it to be quietness.
Well,
You can't do anything with
you're
it.
making up quietness again in your head now. See?
Mm.
See how it works? So how you're it's almost like you're negotiating now that this is not quietness. It has to be made up. You can't make up quietness. Again, let's go back again. Take away all the language at this moment. Because you're going to the realm of languaging again.
Mm.
Yeah. The mind goes, I know quietness. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Mm.
Or unlabel the word quietness. What do you have? Or unname this moment.
I'm not sure if it's better to stay in a semi-quiet state or to say what thoughts could come up,
Yeah, yeah. Don't
or just let
stay.
them go.
Who's
Like,
staying? Who's staying? What's staying? It's always here.
hmm,
It's always here even when you sleep.
it's kind of there's kind of a fear.
Yeah. But go directly to that fear and then label it. Just go directly at it, right? And name it. See what the thought, mind, me, self, whatever you call it, right? It's just different variations of the same thing.
Hmm.
Is create a past to maintain a future. So what's the fear when there's no past and there's no future? If you take away the word fear, what's left? If you unlabel it, if you unname it.
No.
Yeah. If you look at it, it has nothing to do with knowing or not knowing, belief or non-belief. So it seems like, like that characters are trapped in this or that. I got it. I don't get it. It's like the ones and zeros in a computer programming, right? It's just working that way. There's going to be a pattern, right? Ones and zeros, this or that. Dualistic impressions of something that cannot be expressed, basically. It's like creating a language of something that is languageless. So the whole language is all made up. All the words, everything that you think about, everything that you know, everything that you've held on to is a fabrication. Because every single word is made up. It's just squiggles and lines and phonetics that gets joined together. So the intellect really has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. It's almost going back into that default setting, the factory setting when we're babies, basically, when there's just that quietness, basically. Like even if you look right now at your room, like you can call that a fan or a white ceiling or shelves and everything, but what are you looking at if you cannot name it? Or what's looking behind those eyes if you take away the language? Then go directly again, right? It's almost just being relentless to it, right? It's what's between efforting and non-efforting. It's an illusion of opposites, but there's something here that does not have an opposite. How you doing, by the way?
Feels kind of wrong to talk.
Okay.
I mean, like,
Yeah, it's okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. And if a language comes up, eliminate it. The mind wants to land somewhere, right? So don't give it any landing. The thought, the need, the whatever you might want to call it. It's like jumping off a plane with no parachute because there's no landing. Scary, you know what I'm saying?
There's still some thinking, but it's really quiet.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Are you able to say any more about it?
Just let it right now. What's between saying something and not saying something? It's trying to go to the next again, see? Right. I have some meetings that it's like 90% quiet.
Mm.
Take away the narrator. Take away the words. What's between acceptance and rejection?
There's so much conditioning.
What's that?
There's so much conditioning.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. It's all right. That's just a belief. If you take away time, where's the conditioning? If you take away the history, where's the conditioning? Because it creates a future that there needs to be unconditioning or something, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
There's no sort of spectacular feeling or anything.
No, 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 no. That just creates another narrative about what's to come, next.
There's not entirely the absence of thoughts.
No,
The
because
past.
that's just another thought, right?
Yeah.
There's a,
But
there's a,
I think that there's less like it's
in the,
okay. I mean, little thoughts come up, but I'm
yeah,
not doing it. Nothing's. Don't care really.
yeah, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
In the relative, there's an unfolding of it. You know what I'm saying? Don't give it any landing. And
Yeah.
there are some moments like, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's been no thoughts for the past couple of days. And then a thought
Yeah.
starts coming again, right? You know what I'm saying?
I can understand how it's like the I had a moment of like, oh my God, this is really amazing. And then I was
Yeah.
like, but it can't be that.
It can't be that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like, or otherwise it's gonna stop.
yeah,
Which is also, yeah. Yeah, because like and that's how you the grasping which they talk about, it's like that's what that is. It's the knowing.
yeah, yeah. The knowing, the knower comes back, right? So it goes in many different disguises, right? It could be a sense of me, it could be a belief, it could be a thought.
Like you can't grasp ungraspable.
No, no. How? Who? What? You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Yeah.
kind of, yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
be nice to be able to stay like just do a retreat for a week or something. That'd be so good.
You go to the next
I know, I knew you'd say that. I before I said it, I was like, he's gonna say go to the next,
again.
but
Yeah.
still, I think on some level there's like I have the thought, right?
Yeah.
Or the thought comes up like it'd be nice to go on a retreat, and then it's like okay,
Come to Vancouver.
if if
You
I
really,
just I would love to
yeah, yeah, I
um
know.
one day
Yeah.
if I
There was actually a
resist.
person that booked the flight and everything and just basically sat there and said, "I'm actually done, Emerson, and I just didn't want to cancel it because, you know, um, and he goes, actually, when I booked the ticket a couple of days later, it's like, oh my goodness, that kind of thing, right? Because I should have canceled it, but I just,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
think
Oh shoot, okay. You know what? I'm
I
going
would,
to reboot the computer because you're frozen completely now. Just a
that's
second,
okay.
okay? Just log in back.
I'm also happy to do audio if you don't
Okay,
mind, but if you prefer to
just a
if
second.
you
Yeah,
get
let me
something
just
out
try
of
it because
go for
yeah.
it, go for it.
Okay. You're moving again, so that's good. All right. Yeah, it's because you've been thinking for quite a while in your 20 years of existence, probably, right? So there
Mm.
is an illusion of continuity.
Yeah.
The illusion of continuity will make you get you convinced that there was a pattern or there is a programming or a conditioning, right? But if you go directly into this moment without any kind of reference to the past or the future, it's like getting unfettered.
Mm. Yeah.
And then the stickiness will try to come back. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to create a narrative out of this over and over again. But what are you without that narrative? Because it's just a narrative. So go directly again.
I was just looking at the Zoom
Yeah,
photo because it's the video here, and I was like, I think I'm that looking at that, like,
yeah,
but over here looking at that.
yeah, yeah,
Like, I think I'm this, what you're seeing on the screen.
yeah.
There's a lot of correlating, like,
But what are you without that? What's between the observer and the observed?
I guess it does feel like I'm here looking at, but I just see that.
Yeah.
But then what's the here feeling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you take away um, that narrative that I'm looking at, that kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? Then what do you have?
It's not one I really noticed I had.
Yeah.
Is I'm looking at.
But who's looking at? Is it just a thought that you're looking? Is looking just a thought?
Do you think being frustrated with not getting it is addictive?
Being frustrated that is being that this addictive is just a thought. So
Yeah.
when you start seeing that the sameness of all thoughts, it's just like an overlay into that spaciousness or whatever you might want to call it, right?
Mm.
If you get caught up in the movement of thoughts and everything, right? Then you will keep on asking questions like that.
And it doesn't matter what the thought is.
No, because if I answer that, you know what I'm saying, then I just made the
Yeah.
thought real, right?
I think a recurring one which comes up for me, which perpetuates a lot of thoughts,
Mhm.
is that some thoughts are more productive than others for
Yeah,
this.
yeah, of course. So a thought becomes a belief,
Like,
right?
or more
Yeah.
true than others. And then if you get the
Yeah.
true thoughts, then those ones that will make it
Yeah.
pretty silly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mhm. It's quite simple. Don't complicate it, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So in the absence of thought, would it even matter? What if the thought just presents itself as reality when it's actually just absence?
Hard to understand what's happening.
Yeah, yeah. Again, you will never know it. You know what I'm saying? It's just an
It's the
unfolding.
exact opposite of what you expect.
Yeah, totally.
You
Yeah.
expect it to know unknowing.
Yeah. Of course, what's being presented out there too is just so ridiculous, right? You just go to the opposites. Like, someone will say that it's nothing, and then an opposing, thought will say it's everything. And then someone will say it's the self, and then someone will say there's no self.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
It's just like politics, right? It's like you're a left or a right, basically.
yep.
And when you
Just
get
like
caught up in the left and the right, then that becomes an identity, right? So
mm,
yeah. So this is beyond the identity of whatever. Kind of like, what? It's anticlimactic.
mm,
There's nothing to do, but you also have to be relentless at it, which doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah. So it's between doing and not doing.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
It's almost like just a an unpeeling. A thought comes up,
mm,
you unpeel it. A belief comes up, you unpeel it.
mm,
Frustration comes, you unpeel it. You just go directly at it, right? Over and over and over again.
yeah.
Yeah. Until there's nothing
It
more to unpeel.
takes a lot of focus.
Yeah. Yeah. But don't get caught up that it takes a lot of focus too, right?
Yeah.
What's between focus and non-focus? That's the focus. because the mind goes, well, where do I focus? The self goes, how do I get it? How do I
Yeah.
refocus? That's the me, right?
Yeah.
But if you start looking, if you start seeing it, it's quite obvious. The mind comes delayed. The thought comes delayed. There's almost like a really tiny petite window, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Into this infinite, or whatever you might want to call
mm, mm.
it. Once you're
Yeah.
fixated on that window, then it seems to be more spacious and gradually grows and everything, right? Until you're
Yeah.
not until you're not being vigilant anymore.
Mm,
Yeah. It's the same thing as addiction, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like if you're an addict, you know what I'm saying, that you don't go hanging around in
yeah.
bars.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, why do I want to think? Like,
Yeah.
why is that so recurringly?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just an
I was talking
addiction.
to this lady today, and she's been seeking for a long time, but she's actually far more in the narrative anyway, far more
Mm,
clear. Like it's almost like she just needed a little nudging.
mm,
And then all she could talk about is, like she said, she watched some really horrible show, and she goes, she didn't even stop it. She just went through it,
mm.
like a serial killer show that she would not watch right before. And
Yeah, yeah.
because the apparent conditioning is being peeled away,
Mm,
right? So the
mm,
authenticity of the character starts showing up, right? So it could be funny, it could be morbid, whatever seems to appear, right?
mm.
And that also changes. Like it's a gradual, slowly um, going into the unknown, basically, right?
Mm.
So everything, it's like the mind is a hoarder. It hoards a whole bunch of complex theories and
Yeah.
so it's almost like what we're doing today is I'm taking everything out, and then when you say, well, I'm frustrated, you're like taking it back again inside.
Mm.
You notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't need that. You know what? It's irrelevant. It's rotting. They're like, but this is my identity. I'm like, nope, no such
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
feel a bit
when
disoriented as well.
yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't. I'm a bit. It's almost like dizzy. Like not actually dizzy, but like where am I? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like between, but not in the non-dual sense. The between. I'm between the
I know
between
what you
the
mean.
between and
Don't
the
worry, I
not
know what you
between.
mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm a bit. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. It's okay.
Mm. There's been some very interesting moments. I think the most profound was going into the fear when
Yeah.
that arose. Like I think that's, but I can't really, yeah, feel
Yeah.
it the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah. And again, you know what? Sometimes
Mm,
we go in more into this directness, right? It doesn't stop here. It will just keep on unfolding without me.
mm,
It doesn't need me.
yeah,
Basically, all I'm trying to do is just getting out of the way, right?
yeah. I guess you sort of can kickstart it for people
Yeah. Yeah.
because yeah, you're like the disruptor.
I'm a hacker.
Yeah, the
I
hacker.
hack. Yeah.
I like that. You should tell people that.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone actually said that you're a hacker. Goes in a good
Yeah,
way, in a good way, right?
like you're a white hat hacker.
Yeah.
I call it.
Yeah. Because what
Mm,
happened is when I short circuited, right? I'm like, holy crow, there's a direct access to this. What the hell?
yeah,
Yeah. There's a directness to it, and I don't have to wear robes. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. I don't have to. It can be as it is, right? So the unfortunate thing is that, although radical non-duality offers some clarity, it's almost like it has become outdated now.
mm,
The mind
yeah.
is the mind has adapted to it.
My mind is. I can see how good at adapting it is. Like in a very unhealthy way. Like where when you say things like that, my mind is like, right. So that
Yeah, yeah,
makes
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
adaptable, and then the mind could adapt all of human language and then never be able to get it. And it's like, shut up, mind, shut up.
Shut up. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's like getting caught, getting catching the catching that the liar is you, and everything that
Mm,
you say will be lies,
mm,
right? Because you're so ingrained that that's you speaking. So that's you. Everything that
yeah.
you think is a lie. So that's what I caught. I was like, what
Have
the
you ever,
hell?
have you
Sorry.
ever, no, no, it's okay. Have you ever encountered Douglas Harding's no head stuff? I'm sure you did.
It
You
didn't really
probably did.
work for me. Yeah. It
I know,
was,
yeah. It's weird. Like
it did not
it
work for
worked,
me.
then it's never worked. It never
I,
worked again after it
and I
worked.
really wanted it to work. You know what I'm saying?
It's so
Because I
cool.
was
But from
desperate.
but now, does it
I haven't
do
even
you
revisited it. It's
yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
interesting.
Like I
Oh, it's
don't
not
know
yet.
much about it. I don't want to say anything about
No,
it.
that's
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Because it could probably
It's
work for people, right?
sure.
So,
No, no,
um,
it's fun. What I do like about it is that it's not about non-duality. It's about not having a head,
yeah, yeah.
which is fun. Like, yeah.
So maybe
Um,
Douglas Harding is a hacker too, right? So
I would wager that he is. Um, it was just that something you said, like, made it click. Like, once something I'd heard click,
yeah,
where it was like, yeah. But it's because I think there's so many like implicit beliefs that aren't realized.
yeah,
Like, just staring at like your image. Like, for example, if well, I was staring at my image. Like, I think I'm this shape there, but I think this shape is out here,
yeah,
looking in on the shape on a screen.
yeah, yeah.
So weird.
It is weird. You know
The
what? It
belief.
is funny, right? There's another person that had like just clarity because the internet was not working. It was just looking at my image.
Yeah.
And he was just saying that you're not moving. I'm like, well, I'm not. And he goes, no, 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 you're not moving.
There's nothing's ever moved thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm, mm.
I think
I
this is
think,
more of a breakthrough-ish. Don't get caught up in what I say, but this is more of a
yeah,
breakthrough-ish session than the past ones.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. The first session we had, you
yeah,
got me,
yeah,
like straight away.
yeah,
And then since then, been like in a circle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed. It's like, okay, so
I know
what
you.
next, Emerson? That's the mind, right? Okay, give it to
Sorry
me.
about
Come on.
that. I hope it's not annoying on your end, like, or
No, no,
frustrating.
no, not at all. Not at all. It was so funny at the retreat, right? Because people
Mm.
are like, people travel all the way from different parts of the world, so they have high expectations. And so the first couple of days were almost like unbearable for a lot of them. They're like, oh man, they just keep on saying, and then somehow by the third day, the questions started disappearing. And then the fourth day, they didn't even want to have a meeting.
Wild.
Yeah, it's wild, right? It's
You're
just,
onto something crazy. Like, I would love to definitely hang out if
yeah, hang
that's
out, like
the end of
come
it. Like,
come to Vancouver if you can. You know what I'm saying? Vancouver is
far
beautiful
away,
too.
far away place for me.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
I know. Got to save up.
Save up, save up. Yeah, and if you don't, you know what? You can come. You know what? For people, saying that doesn't have a lot of money, just get here and get your accommodations, and you don't have to pay me.
Well, one thing at a time.
Yeah,
Save up first.
save
Get
up
that
first.
flight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The flight is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from down under for sure. I'm like at Antarctica.
Where are you?
I'm in Sydney, so it's like very, very far away.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Everywhere is
yeah.
far from Australia.
The
So
the the guy that came here, I'm saying, just on a whim, and he on a whim, and he's already kind of
you
done.
gotta
You
be
know what I'm saying?
you gotta be careful because I do a lot of on a whim shit. Like if that's an idea in my head, like I'll be there next week.
Oh
Like
no, okay, don't do that then.
no, no, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, sorry, I'm not actually super serious. But
Yeah.
also like I would do like a month at least. I'm planning with a retreat or something, but you know what I mean. I gotta go to
Yeah,
work.
yeah, yeah. You got to go
Yeah,
to work, and
gotta be
but yeah,
careful.
it was beautiful for him, and it was just like at the end of it, he's like, "This is the most beautiful weekend I've ever had." I'm like, "Good,
Nice.
yeah."
Cool.
But he came with a lot of expectation. There was also there's maybe a couple of people that are still waiting, to be honest, right? So, but I have
Mm.
follow up. I'm following up with one
That's
tomorrow.
okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
but the majority of them, oh my goodness, right? This guy that there, I remember talking to this guy. He was just so in his Buddha mind or in meditation mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
that I say, he closes his eyes up, and when I'm like, "Stop closing your eyes, man. Look directly at me." And it's like, "Oh, sorry, that's what I do." I'm like, "This is not meditation, right?" So at one point, I cut him off. I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Watch some one-on-ones first. Come back to me."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Okay." And then he came. You know what? When he came at the end of it, it was funny because we were eating some donuts, and it was just a beautiful moment because there's no more hierarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
It's cool.
it's
Hmm.
cool, and that's what it is. It's just I take all of the hierarchies out, all of the pedestals, right? Um, because that's the hack.
It's
Because
just
the
so much bullshit. Like, not
oh
not not even the stuff that you sort of got yourself into, but I mean more like thought. Like,
oh yeah,
it is bullshit. Like, and it's so yeah, it's so persistent.
it is, and it's just
You know the clock you have back there.
oh yeah, yeah. My
I don't know.
Dali,
Do you still enjoy at all intellectual stuff, or you like there's no part of you, or is that part of your personality?
not really that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's almost like even in the meeting, I did not even go into any intellectual stuff. It was wild.
No, sure, sure. But I just mean as a person, like, do you enjoy like hearing about it? Because it was a hobby for so long that I
Yeah.
imagine it's still probably maybe but
Not
maybe you're
really,
not
to be
interested.
honest with
But
you, right? You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It's like
yeah,
because I see it as all made up, and I do
yeah,
enjoy like good fiction. To be honest with you, I enjoy
yeah.
good fiction.
Go
But
straight to the actual made up stuff rather than like the pretend it's not made up
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Or I like a little stories. I like some stories about like language. Like like I like this book called Don't Sleep. Um, there are
Mm.
snakes. It's about a tribe, and then it's about language. So that's interesting, but not an intellectualization.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I was talking to this super intelligent character, and you know what? I never used it. I got bored.
Yeah,
I got bored,
makes
and
sense. It makes
this
sense. Like for you, like
yeah
you kind of yeah.
yeah
When it has no meaning, then it's a bit
yeah
like irrelevant.
yeah. It just becomes
Mm.
and it's a bit because I see behind the mask of that, right? There's
Yeah.
just innocence. You know what I'm saying? Portraying as intelligence, and then
Yeah,
yeah
interesting. I
yeah
kind of view the intellectual stuff as like, some people like to watch sport and they just watch sport to distract themselves, like entertainment, like kind of see it like that.
I never, yeah, that's what it is. It's the same thing, basically. It is
Yeah.
distraction. I do
Yeah.
more
It's just I
wordless
don't like
stuff.
sports as much. Like,
So, for
yeah.
example, in this retreat, I think I walked like, I don't know, like 15,000 steps every day. You know what I'm saying? Just
Mm,
with the
mm.
retreat. And then I have my own 10,000, 15,000. So it's like, I was like clocking in like 30,000 steps. You know what I'm saying? Because we did a lot of walking.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
good.
just
Walking's like one of
beautiful.
my I really like walking, like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the more wordless stuff that you do, the more stuff that you're not plugged into your
Or
computer.
I have a funny like walking story. I once had this friend who, at the time, he was dating a model, and she was like very, like exactly what you'd think, like very the opposite of intellectual, like
Yeah,
type of
yeah,
person,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I would go on these crazy long walks for like hours every day because I just love. Actually, at the time in my life, I was really into walking,
yeah.
and like one time I came back, and I was living with him at the time, and she was there, and she's like, "Hey, like Nikki, like you walk a lot," and I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, where are you going? It's just like, no, no, that's not what this is about. Like, there's no like
Yeah.
a,
That's so
but
funny.
it's a really good
That's
analogy. Like,
that's
honestly, like,
yeah.
it's just a walk. It's just a process only thing. There's no,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I just discovered swimming. I didn't know how to swim before. I had a
Wow,
phobia. Yeah, I had severe
yeah.
phobia. That my
Water is cool.
and then I've just been I think this it's Thursday I've gone swimming 3 times already. Right. So
So good.
And then the instructor was so confused because he goes, "Are you sure that you have a phobia?" Because the first second day I got it right away because there's
Yeah.
no more fear.
Yeah, of course there's not. Like you would just wash over that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Nice.
here I was all my life, you know what I'm saying? And
Is it
now,
cool? Do you like it?
oh, I love it. I
It's
love
cool,
it.
right? Water is really crazy.
Oh my goodness, yeah,
And
yeah.
now you can go to places like you go to Fiji or something, or you go to like Italy.
I
You're
avoided
gonna go to see the cool. You're gonna love it.
I avoided any trips that basically involved the beach because I don't know how to swim, right? So
Yeah,
I
wow.
would go to Europe, you know what I'm saying? But when it was time to go to Mexico, you know what I'm saying? I did retreats in Tulum, and then
Mm,
people were like, "Hey, let's go for a swim." Like, "Oh, I'm all right," you know. I
yeah.
didn't have the guts to say that I don't know how to swim because they're like, "How could you not know how to swim?" But yeah,
Mm,
just
that's good. Good.
just the past 3 months actually, you know what I'm saying? I've been swimming, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
instructor was I signed up for those,
The
adult
afraid of water ones.
are afraid of water, and he was
My
just like,
mom's like that. My mom's afraid of water, and she's trying to take swimming classes.
"Oh, really?" So
Yeah, you get her in a heartbeat. I was thinking of giving this one-on-one to her because I'm
yeah.
like, you just get. She's like so ready, like she has no
Oh,
idea.
you should book her or
I
something.
really should,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
And you know what was funny, right? Was because the instructor, the swimming instructor goes, "You're a secret shopper. You're not really. You know how to swim. You know, I caught you. You know how to swim. You don't need this lesson." He goes, "Am I doing
no
well?"
one valid.
And I'm like, "No." I said, and I gave him a story of seeking, not start swimming. You know, like if I was afraid. You know, I said I was petrified because when I was a little kid, I witnessed um, dead bodies that drowned. There was a big boat. It's in history. There's the biggest um, ship that sank, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And there's 1,000 people in it. And then my mom, out of panic, she didn't have a babysitter, took me to identify the body. She was, you know what, and she's apologetic about it because she knows that that's what did it, right? So, and
No, no problem anymore.
she even said that you loved the beach before, but somehow when that happened, you could not even go near the beach, right? So,
Yeah, I feel like you would be like an ocean. You would enjoy the ocean in general.
oh, I love it, I love it. But I have to go. Oh, I have another session. Sorry, sorry. But
Sorry.
Nikki,
Okay, Emerson, thank you so much. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
you know what? Try to book another one just for you.
What time frame do you reckon?
Um, as soon as possible. But I'm getting booked so fast, so just look whatever's next because
Okay.
somehow someone is sharing my.
Running out of money, Emerson, but I'll give it a go.
You know what? Just message me
Okay.
and I'll give you a freebie. Okay?
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Bye,
Or
Emerson.
donate what you
Enjoy your
can
session.
or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want to follow up with you. All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.